कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतोषी श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mathura Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shamaveto Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gaurango. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So did everyone fit in? Okay, looks like. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Deving Sarasating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nittang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 8, Character of Bharat Maharaj. The verse that has been written on the board, 23, I have already done that day before yesterday.
26, but the verse is very long.
What happened? 20, what happened to 24? No verse, no purport. 25, huh?
Yesterday 24, 20 plus.
Okay, 24. Then 5, 8, 23?
By mistake.
By mistake. Well, anyway, actually these are all prose forms, so I'll just read them through. I'll just... Okay, well, let's go for word by word meaning, and then I'll read the verse. Evam, in that way. Aghatamana, impossible to be achieved. Manoratha, by desire, which are like mental chariots. Akula, aggrieved. Hridaya, whose heart, Mrigodaraka Abhashena, resembling the son of a deer, Sa Arabdha Karmana, by the bad results of his unseen fruitive actions. Jogo arambhanataha, from the activities of yoga performance. Bibhramsitaha, fallen down. Sa, he, Maharaj Bharat. Yoga tapasaha, executing the activities of mystic yoga and austerities. Bhagavat Aradhana Lakshana, from the activities of devotional service rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Cha and katham, how, itaratha, else, jati antare, belonging to a different species of life. Ena kunake, to the body of a deer calf. Asangaha, so much affectionate attachment. Shakshan, directly. Nishreyasa, to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Pratipakshataya, with the quality of being an obstacle. Prag, who previously. Paritakta, given up. Dustaja, although very difficult to give up. Hridaya abhijatasya, his sons, born of his own heart. Tasya, of him. Evam, thus. Antaraya, by that obstacle. Bihata, obstructed. Jogo arambhanasya, whose path of executing the mystic yoga practice. Rajarishe, of the great saintly king. Bharatasya, of Maharaj Bharat. Tabat, in that way. Mriga Arbhaka, the son of a deer. Poshana, in maintaining. Palana, in protecting. Prinana, in making happy. Lalana, in fondling. Anusangena, by constant absorption. Abhiganayataha, neglecting. Atmanam, his own soul. Ohi iba, like a serpent. Akhubilam, the hole of a mouse. Duratikramaha, unsurpassable. Kalaha, ultimate death. Karala, terrible. Rabhasa, having speed. Apaddata, arrived. So let me see, read the verse. Long verse and prose form. Evam aghata mano monoratha kula hridaya mriga daraka bhashena swarabha karmana jogarambhanato bibhrangshitaha sa jogotapaso bhagavat aradhana lakshanach cha katham itarathe jati antare anekunuka ashanga shakshan nishreyasa pratipakshataya prak paritakta dustaja hridayabhijatasya tasyaivam antaraya bihata jogarambhanasya rajarshir bharatasya tavan mrigarbhaka poshana palana prinana lalonanu sangaina abhiganayata atmanam ohir iva khu bilam duratikramaha kala karala rabhasa apaddata. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Sukdev Goswami continued, My dear king, in this way Bharat Maharaj was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable desire which was manifest in the form of a deer. Due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity and worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If it were not due to his past fruitive activity, how could he have been attracted to the deer after giving up the association of his own son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life? How could he show such uncontrollable affection for a deer? This was definitely due to his past karma. The king was so engrossed in petting and maintaining the deer that he fell down from his spiritual activities. In due course of time, insurmountable death, which is compared to a venomous snake that enters the hole created by a mouse, situated itself before him. Okay, let's read it also. Repeat after me, please. Sukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, in this way, Bharat Maharaj was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable desire which was manifest in the form of the deer. Due to the fruitive results of his past deeds, he fell down from the mystic yoga, austerity and worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If it were not due to his past fruitive activity, how could he have been attracted to the deer? After giving up the association of his own son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life, how could he show such uncontrollable affection for a deer? This was definitely due to his past karma. The king was so engrossed in petting and maintaining the deer that he fell down from his spiritual activities. In due course of time, insurmountable death, which is compared to a venomous snake that enters the hole created by a mouse, situated itself before him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As will be seen in later verses, Bharat Maharaj at the time of death would be forced to accept the body of a deer due to his attraction for the deer. In this regard, a question may be raised: how can a devotee be affected by his past misconduct and vicious activities? In Brahma Samhita 5:54 it is said, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. For those engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajan, the results of past deeds are indemnified. According to this, Bharat Maharaj could not be punished for his past misdeeds. The conclusion must be that Maharaj Bharat purposefully became over-addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. to immediately rectify his mistakes. For a short time, he was awarded the body of a deer. This was just to increase his desire for mature devotional service. Although Bharat Maharaj was awarded the body of an animal, he did not forget what had previously happened due to his purposeful mistake. He was very anxious to get out of his dear body, and this indicates that his affection for devotional service was intensified so much so that he was quickly to attain perfection in a Brahmana body in the next life. It is with this conviction that we declare in our Back to Godhead magazine that devotees like the Goswamis living in Vrindavan, who purposely commit some sinful activity are born in the bodies of dogs, monkeys and tortoises in that holy land. Thus they take on these lower life forms for a short while, and after they give up these animal bodies, they are again promoted to the spiritual world. Such punishment is only for a short period, and it is not due to past karma. It may appear to be due to the past karma, but it is offered to rectify the devotee and bringing him to pure devotional service. I can see many new faces today, meaning visiting faces. So how many of you know the story of Bharat Maharaj? How many of you do not know the story of Bharat Maharaj? Okay, very good. So anyway, we can briefly discuss. Who was Bharat Maharaj? Bharat Maharaj was the son of King Rishabdev. Rishabdev was an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rishabdev was the father of 100 children. Out of them, the eldest one was Bharat Maharaj. And then he had 9 other sons who are famous as Navajogendras, 9 great yogis, Kabi, Habi, Antariksha, etc. So, Bharat Maharaj, rather Rishabdev, after handing over the kingdom to Bharat Maharaj, he retired. He became Banaprasthi and kept on wandering around like a madman. So that is a stage, a perfected stage of pure devotion, which is called perfected stage of pure devotion, which is called the Abadhuta stage or Paramahamsa stage. Rishabdev perfectly demonstrated how a Paramahamsa behaves. He doesn't have any external consciousness. And then Bharat Maharaj became the king. He became the king of the entire earth planet. The earth planet was originally known as Ilabrita Varsha, and it is due to Bharat Maharaj that this planet became known as Bharat Varsha. So Bharat Maharaj, after ruling for a long time, he left his kingdom and he went to the bank of Gandaki river to cultivate Krishna consciousness, cultivate his attachment or develop his attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Bharat Maharaj became so advanced that he was feeling transcendental emotions, bhava, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then one day when Bharat Maharaj was meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sitting on the bank of the river Gandaki, he all of a sudden he heard the roar of a lion. The lion, when the lion roars, it sounds like a thunder. And then he saw that being afraid of the lion's roaring, a deer mother just tried to jump across the river. And she fell and she had a miscarriage. The child, the baby deer that she was carrying came out of her womb and she died. And that baby deer was being carried away by the stream, by the current of the river. So seeing that, Bharat Maharaj rescued that deer, baby deer. Now, Bharat Maharaj naturally started to take care of the deer. It was not an easy job. The deer's mother just died and it needed so much care and attention. So Bharat Maharaj started to take care of the deer. And in course of that, taking care of the baby deer, Bharat Maharaj became extremely attached to that deer. It started to, Bharat Maharaj forgot about Krishna, forgot about his spiritual activities, and he started to think about the deer. When the deer grew up and started to move around, Bharat Maharaj was afraid that, when the deer didn't come back, Bharat Maharaj was afraid, what happened to the deer? Did some ferocious animal kill the deer? And when the deer after came back, Bharat Maharaj felt such relief. After all, the baby is still alive. And the last few verses are actually describing how attached Bharat Maharaj became to that deer. Bharat Maharaj would prepare for offering, making his offering to the Lord on a banana leaf plate. And the baby deer, that deer would come and would try to bite the leaf plate. And as a result of that, the offering would become contaminated. So Bharat Maharaj would chastise the deer. What are you doing? You spoiled my offering. Get out of here. And the baby deer would sit there. And Bharat Maharaj would feel that this baby deer is looking like a Rishi Kumar meditating upon his Brahma Jyoti. And then when the deer would go away, after some time the deer would walk away because Bharat Maharaj chastised him. So Bharat Maharaj would start to feel that, this deer has become so angry with me and it left me. And Bharat Maharaj would start to look for the deer, and then Bharat Maharaj would see the footprints of the deers on the earth, and he would think that the Mother Earth has performed so much austerities that it received the marks of its footprints on her, and as a result of that, she has become purified to such an extent that this place has become the place of performing spiritual activities. Because there is a verse that says that the place where there are footprints of Krishna Sara Mriga, this deer, black spotted deer, that place is suitable for performing spiritual activities. So remembering that verse, Bharat Maharaj would feel that, oh, this Mother Earth is so fortunate. So this is how Bharat Maharaj became attached to this deer. And now Sukadev Goswami is making that point, that Bharat Maharaj, who gave up everything, even his own son, it has been described here, the son who is born from his heart, he gave up that son who was born from his own heart. His family, which was so intimate to him, so dear to him. How come Bharat Maharaj became attached to this deer? How come it has become so attached to this deer? It must be his past karmic result. So in one way, we can see how karmic reactions can be binding. How can the karmic reactions tie us down to this material nature? Like after giving up his kingdom, after giving up his family, after giving up everything, he goes to the forest and becomes attached to this deer. How is it possible? How could it happen? So, Sukadev Goswami is making the point that this must be karmic reaction. But Prabhupada is making the point here that Krishna actually assured that when one takes to devotional service, then all his karmic reactions are nullified, absolved. Aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. When one takes to Krishna consciousness, then he is free from all his karmic reactions. Then how come for those engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajana, the results of past deeds are indemnified, nullified. Karmani nirdahati, kintu cha bhakti bhajan. Those who are engaged in devotional service, his karmic reactions gets burnt out. Nirdahati. So if the karmic reactions, kutang bijang phalan mukham, they come in the form of bij, seed. And gradually the seed fructifies the karmic reactions. That's how it happens. First it is in a kutang stage, in a very, very deep, as if unnoticeable. You can't figure out how deep it's so deep that we cannot even recognize their existence. That is how the karmic reactions stay. But then gradually, kutang stage, it comes to the seed stage, bijam. Then from bija state, it becomes fructified, phalan mukham. So bij, karma, karmic reactions take place due to the seed of karmic reactions, seed of past karma. But nirdahati means burnt out. So when seeds are burnt out or roasted, then there is no possibility of fructifying. Like wheats or sunflower seeds or pumpkin seed. If you roast it and then you throw it in the field, will it germinate? No. So when one takes to Krishna consciousness, that's what happens. That his seeds are nirdahati, roasted. Therefore, there is no possibility of germination. then why did Bharat Maharaj become subjected to his karmic reaction? Why Sukadeva Goswami is considering that it must be due to Bharat Maharaj's past karmic reactions that it happened. As he is pointing out, if it were not due to his past fruitive activity, how could he have been attracted to the deer after giving up the association of his own son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life? How could Bharat Maharaj have such consequence that he would become? It's actually a totally unthinkable happening. Person who has given up his family, kingdom, everything, how can he become attracted to a deer like that? So, now that is the point that Sukadeva Goswami mentioned. But Prabhupada is making one point here in his purport, that according to this, Bharat Maharaj could not be punished for his past misdeeds. That means there couldn't be any possibility of Bharat Maharaj's becoming subjected to his karmic reactions. The conclusion must be that Maharaj Bharat purposefully became over-addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. He purposefully did that. Deliberately he became attached to the deer. Therefore, as a result of that, there was a need for rectification. And the rectification came only for a short while, getting a deer body. It is something like as if Krishna, just by giving him one deer body, burnt out all his karma. Although karmani nirdahati, when one takes to devotional service, his karmic reactions get indemnified, but at the same time, Prabhupada pointed out that some reactions continue. And Prabhupada gives the example of a fan. A fan is moving. Even though you switch off the fan, it keeps on moving for some time. This movement of the fan is a process of coming to a standstill. The fan is coming to a standstill. So that is how we have to understand Bharat Maharaj is getting this deer body. Sometimes Krishna does that. Puts him in a situation, and being in that situation, his attraction for Krishna becomes intensified. He laments, "Oh, I made such a mistake. Why did I do that?" When one makes him, Prabhupada used to say that to make a mistake is not bad, but not to learn from a mistake is bad. When you make a mistake, fine, you made a mistake, but learn from that mistake. A mistake comes as an opportunity to improve our performance. So that is what is happening here. Bharat Maharaj, we can see Bharat Maharaj got a deer body, but after getting the deer body, did he forget about his past? No. He was his jati smar. He remembered his past. He remembered what happened. And he remembered why he got this deer body. Apparently it's a fall down from such an exalted personality has been born as a deer. So for him it was an obvious degradation, fall down. But the thing is that by getting the deer body, he recognized his mistake very, very intensely. And then his mood was, oh, I'm not going to make the same mistake. That was obvious in the deer body. The deer, although he was born as a deer, but he didn't stay with his family. He left his mother, he left his family, and went to the hermitage of the saintly person, Tapovan of the sages. And there he would listen to the discussions that these sages used to have among themselves. Just sit there and quietly listen. And then he gets a birth, a pure devotee. Then he is born as a pure devotee in a Brahmana family. And in that Brahmana family, Bharat Maharaj, now he learnt his lesson. He doesn't want to develop any attachment. And as a result of that, he started to act like a retarded boy, Gunga. He can't understand anything. He can't speak. He can't act properly. Why he acted like that? So that no attachment would develop. If the child is very nice and very smart, very intelligent, then everybody becomes so attached, and the child also becomes attached to them. So Bharat Maharaj didn't want to take a chance again. So this time he is acting like a retarded person. And then, especially after his father's death, his father was very affectionate. Like parents are naturally affectionate to the children. And especially when the children are handicapped, the parents become even more attached to them. So his father was very attached to him. And he used to try to teach him, oh, you're a Brahmana boy, at least learn to meditate on Gayatri Mantra, take Brahmin Diksha. But he behaved in such a way as if he can't even pronounce the mantra. Like he would act, very good actor he must have been. And devotee is expert in all arts. So he acted as if he's a perfect retarded person. So father gave up. This boy is hopeless. He can't, although he's born in a Brahmana family, but I can't give him Brahmin Diksha. And after his father's death, his brothers started to exploit him. His own brothers started to exploit him. They took away his share of the property, and they, seeing that he is so stupid, they started to engage him all kinds of hard work, and barely would give him some food. And sometimes they even stopped giving him food. Bharat Maharaj didn't even, Jar Bharat did not even complain. And his neighbors started to take advantage of him. Oh Bharat, खाना चाहिए, अच्छा, ये मेरे लिए ये काम कर दो, ये लकड़ी तोड़ दो, फाड़ दो, और सामान वहाँ से यहाँ लाओ. So this is how they started to take advantage of Bharat Maharaj just in exchange of some food. Then something very wonderful happened. I think it was his brothers who actually engaged him in guarding the paddy field. The field, when it is time for harvesting, then wild animals come and destroy that. That's a possibility. Therefore, somebody has to guard it at night so that the animals don't come. And the way they do it is they make some sound, like nowadays I have seen in the villages, or at least in the past I have seen in the villages, they tie a rope with a heavy thing in a tin container, and they pull it, and it rings like a bell. So hearing that sound, the wild animals run away. So Bharat was guarding the field in that way. Now in the meantime, some dacoits were looking for somebody to offer to Kali. Those dacoits those days used to offer human beings, Naravali. They used to not only just offer animals to Kali, but they would even offer human beings. And they generally do make that offering on a new moon night, Amavasya night. So they made all the preparations for worshipping Kali in the middle of the night, but the person they caught for giving offering to Kali, that person disappeared, he ran away. So now is the time for worship and there is nobody, the offering has run away. So they started to look for somebody. And then they came to that field and they found Bharat Maharaj. Keeping the animals away from the field, guarding the field that way. So they thought, well, this is a good one. So they caught hold of Bharat Maharaj and took him to the place where they were. Generally, the Kali worshippers worship Kali in the middle of a forest, so that nobody can hear the cry of the animal when they offer. So they took Bharat Maharaj, bathed him nicely, and put a flower garland. For Kali, the garland is made of hibiscus flower. The red, it's called Rakta Java. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? जवा फूल बोलते हैं? हाँ? नो, जाफरान तो फ्रांजीपानी. अच्छा, लाल होता है ना? वो फूल भगवान को नहीं देना, वो काली का है. तो को माला चढ़ाया, put him with the garland of hibiscus, red hibiscus flower, and then put him in the Jupakashta, that U-shaped wooden frame where the neck is put, and then locked it with another rod, wooden rod, in order to kill him. Bharat Maharaj didn't protest. So this is the mood of a devotee. Whatever you do it Krishna. If you want to kill me, kill me. Maro bhi, rakho bhi, jo ichha tohara. So his mood is, oh Krishna, you want me to be offered to Kali? Fine. He did not complain. He did not resist. And when the dacoits were about to offer Bharat to Kali, then Kali could not tolerate that. Kali came out of her murti. That murti split and Kali appeared. And she took the chopper out of that dacoit's hand. And she started to kill all those dacoits. So this is how Bharat Maharaj was saved. So this is how we see that no matter how dangerous the situation is, a devotee doesn't resist. A surrendered devotee simply depends upon Krishna. And Krishna protects. Time and time again we are seeing this attitude of a devotee. Like Prahlad Maharaj. Did Prahlad Maharaj pray to Krishna, 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 save me? No. Okay, you want to throw me in fire? Fine. Just throw him into fire. But the fire became cool for him. Fire didn't burn him. The soldiers of Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him with the weapons. Nothing happened. They put him in the pit of venomous snakes. And the snakes kept on biting, but nothing happened to Prahlad. The snakes started to cry. Oh, our sacks of poison is empty. Our fangs are all broken. And nothing is happening to the boy. So that is how Krishna protects his devotees. Abhashya rakhibe Krishna Vishwas palan. Positively Krishna will protect me. That is the mood of a devotee. So here we can see how Bharat Maharaj went through different phases of life, and then ultimately he became a pure devotee. As Jara Bharat, he actually is a pure devotee. Although he was pretending to be a retarded individual, but actually he was a pure devotee. So that is the story of Bharat Maharaj. And here we can see how Krishna takes care of his devotees. When a devotee surrenders unto himself unto Krishna, then Krishna actually takes care of him. And the devotee is completely surrendered. You know what is good for me. That is the mood of a devotee. Just like a child knows how his father is going to take care of him, a devotee knows that Krishna will take care of him. So even if Krishna gives a dear body or another such body, that is for his own benefit. Here he is saying, as Prabhupada is pointing out, by getting into a dear body, Bharat Maharaj's love for Krishna became even more intensified. And that is the ultimate goal. Kito janamo ho jatha tu adash. Let me be born even as an insect, Kita, in the association of your devotees. On the other hand, if the life of Brahma is without Krishna consciousness, I don't want that life. So this is how we are seeing how the pure devotees act, and from that we learn our lesson. How we learn how we should practice our Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari. Does anybody have any question? Yes, Ranath Prabhu.
Toward the end of the purport, Prabhupada, this one sentence, Prabhupada said, thus they take on these lower life forms for a short while.
Yeah.
After they give up those animal bodies, they are again promoted to the spiritual world. What does Prabhupada mean, again promoted to the spiritual world?
You know, like as if by getting a lower birth, he deviated from his spiritual life. But then, after that, he is again reinstated in a spiritual situation. Just like Bharat Maharaj, apparently he got a dear body, but then after that he got a pure devotee's situation. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Jara Bharat was careful that he will intend, that is why he never spoke. But should we take that type of attitude, because we know chanting is more powerful, so at least he can chant.
Well, Jara Bharat had to behave like that because ISKCON was not there at that time. If ISKCON was there, he would have come and joined ISKCON, and he would have been happy preaching, and so it was like he was, the atmosphere there was not conducive for spiritual life. He was afraid. That family attachment. He saw how he became attached to a deer. Now what to speak of other family members? Those were blood relation in a way. As in that point it has made that the son was born from his own heart, as if it's an extension of his own identity. He considered them to be a stumbling block to his spiritual progress. So that's why he was taking that precaution. No taking any chance. Yes.
Who was the spiritual master of Bharat Maharaj?
Bharat Maharaj, there is no mention of that here. Like here, anyway, there was no mention, so I can't say.
Bharat Maharaj, Prabhupada is telling that once we take up devotional service, then less chances of falling down. But we see some senior Vaishnavas in our movement, they practice devotional service, and afterwards they come with charitable activities. So how to understand that?
Well, from this anecdote, we can understand at least that after they deviate, their attraction for Krishna consciousness will increase and come back to ISKCON again. Right? Yes.
You mentioned that Prabhupada said in the purpose that Jadabharat Maharaj purposefully neglected his spiritual practices. My question is, what leads a living entity to deliberately neglect his spiritual practices?
Yeah, that is the illusory energy of the Lord. Like, purposefully means, he neglected his spiritual activity for the sake of this deer. He is responsible for that. He purposefully gave it up.
Is that by spiritual laziness that he deliberately made that choice?
Not spiritual laziness, the Maya's influence is like that. It's very dangerous. That is why it is always important, it's very important that one stays in association of devotees. When one is alone, one runs the risk of such fall down. But when one is in the association of devotees, and he remains favorably disposed to the devotees, then the chances are practically nil. And on the other hand, we can see that in spite of coming to Krishna consciousness, when one deviates, most cases it is due to Vaishnava aparad. They had the opportunity to be with the devotees, but because they committed offenses to the devotees, he couldn't stay in the association.
One is now being offensive to devotees, and because of the offenses one deviates. So in ISKCON, what would be the rectification process? Just to reconnect, ask for forgiveness and continue?
Yeah. That is, first of all, one must guard himself. That's why we remember those 10 offenses to the holy name. One must guard himself from those offenses. And then even if there is some offenses, then one should actually go to that person and beg forgiveness. Even if the fall down is unconscious. Deepesh Baghel, Bangalore. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, you mentioned about the total dependency of Jarabharat on Lord, even when his life was under threat. So, to what extent we can follow this? should we do our efforts depending on Lord or depend completely on Lord, your servant? Yeah. So, the question is, when one is in such a situation, whether one should make some effort to rectify the situation depending upon the Lord, or one should completely depend upon the Lord without making any effort. Deepak, that will depend upon your advancement. When one is very, very advanced, then he won't make any effort to save himself from that situation. But it should not be done artificially. Like if one is not that advanced, then yes, he should make some effort to rectify that situation, depending upon the Lord. Praying to the Lord, he should. Like we'll see, like when difficulties come, some people try to rectify that situation. They struggle to rectify that situation. But some other, those who are even more advanced, they will withdraw, thinking, well, that's what Krishna wants, so let it be. Like if Krishna, as I said, Marobi Rakhobi Jo Ichha Tuhara. That is the mood of a pure devotee. Krishna, you want to kill me as Jara Bharat? Krishna, you want me to die? So I am ready. He didn't resist. But again, that shouldn't be done artificially. Artificially in the sense, pretend, oh, I won't make any effort. But then when the difficult situation comes, oh Krishna, why did you do this to me? No. Don't blame Krishna or don't unnecessarily trouble Krishna either.